Wheels Whips! Hit that thumbs up icon. It helps spread the video so others can see it. We appreciate you. You, right there in the back, with the shirt. Yes, you're a legend.
Well, folks, today we're going to talk about a real classic, a true American icon, and a car that'll make you go Zoe, the 1967 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500. Now, let me tell you, this baby was something else, and it all started with a little help from a fellow named Carroll Shelby. He was a racing driver, a mechanic, and an all-around car guy who decided to put his touch on the good old Ford Mustang. Now, back in the day, 1967 was a pretty big year for cars, and especially for the Mustang. It was the year they introduced those cool GTA stripes on the side of the car. You know, the ones that went from the front fender all the way to the rear quarter panel. And let me tell you, it looked mighty fine. Plus, the GT500 came with some serious horsepower under the hood, a massive 428 cubic inch V8 engine known as the Cobra Jet engine. Now, this wasn't just your everyday run-of-the-mill engine. No siree! This baby was tuned and tweaked to produce an astounding 355 horses, which made it one of the most powerful cars on the road at that time. Now, when you sat in the driver's seat of this bad boy, you knew you were in something special. The interior was decked out with a bunch of cool features like bucket seats that held you tight during those high-speed cornering maneuvers and a 3-spoke steering wheel that made you feel like you were in the driver's seat of a race car. And you know what? It had that classic Mustang growl that just made you want to hit the gas pedal and see how fast this baby could go. But let me tell you, folks, this wasn't just a pretty face. This car was built for speed, and it could handle like a dream. The GT500 came with a beefed-up suspension, bigger brakes, and some serious rubber on the tires to keep you gripping the road as you took those corners at high speeds. And let me tell you, when you floored it, boy howdy, did this car take off. It was like you were in a rocket ship, going from 0 to 60 miles per hour in no time flat. Now, I gotta say, the 1967 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 wasn't just about speed and power, it was also about style. Man, oh man, was this car stylish. It had that classic Mustang shape, but with a few tweaks that made it stand out from the crowd. The Shelby GT500 badges on the hood and trunk lid let everyone know you were driving something special. And those stripes, oh boy, they just looked fantastic. And let me tell you, folks, when you parked this baby next to the regular Mustang, it was like night and day. The GT500 had a presence that just couldn't be ignored. Now let's talk about the people who drove this car. Well, back in 1967, these babies were priced at around $4,425, which might seem like a lot. But when you consider what you got, it was a steal. And folks, once they got their hands on one of these babies, they just couldn't resist showing it off. They'd drive it down Main Street, cruising slow and low with the top down and that big V8 engine roaring. And let me tell you, those who saw it, well, they couldn't help but turn their heads and take notice. So there you have it, folks, the 1967 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500, a true American classic. It was fast, powerful, stylish, and just plain cool. And you know what? Even today, after all these years, people still love this car. They still talk about it, write about it, and dream about owning one. And why not? I mean, when you think of American muscle cars, the 1967 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 is right up there at the top of the list. It's a car that'll never go out of style, and it's a car that'll always be remembered as one of the greatest cars in history. And you know what? I'm going to bet that if you ever get the chance to see one of these babies in person, you'll just stand there and stare at it, because it's that incredible.